That you took the time to tune in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. And welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you over there, Dr. Debra Moore Ignont?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am doing great and so glad to have you here today. Where are you located, Dr. Debra?
I'm in Oakland, California.
What? Okay, yes. So you're bringing the sunshine with you, right?
Barely.
We've
been having a whole lot of flooding here, but it's nice today so far.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad that you took time to be with us today and cannot wait. I actually personally can't wait to hear your story. So everybody quickly grab your virtual seats and let's get ready to have a great episode. Just learning about some things that Dr. Debra Moore Ignont is going to share with us. Tell them just in a nutshell what they can expect to hear from you today.
You can expect to hear from me that God is able and God is on the throne and that he is a promise keeper. And that if you are struggling with singleness like I did, because I always wanted to be married and I always had that hope that it would come to pass. And it finally did. And God is just so awesome. And I just want to share with you some of my struggles, some of the journey that I went through and how God kept me through that.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so y'all should be tagging your friends and sharing the broadcast because a lot of people that are out here that are single need to have some hope. They need some inspiration. They want to know what can we do in the meantime, in the in-between time, when you're waiting for that person that God may have purpose for your life. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and we will get a chance to hear from our episode sponsor, which is Hunter Everidge Law Firm. Not sure if you all have utilized their services yet, but if you haven't, definitely give them a call. Let me pull some information up about them. It's Attorney Charles Everidge and Hunter Everidge Law Firm. Make sure you reach out to them if you're in the Alabama area, if you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, or if you're anywhere in the Carolinas. They deal with disability. They also deal with workers' compensation. If you've had someone pass away, a wrongful death of a loved one, give them a call, 704-251-2945. Let them know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. We're going to hear from them and we'll be right back with Dr. Debra Moore Ignont.
I'm Attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
Back, and we are talking with Dr. Debra Moore Ignont. And Dr. Ignont is passionate. Let me put my glasses on before I even botch up somebody's whole bio. This right here, a real live show, y'all. So I can't say go to commercial. Right, wait. Okay, Dr. Ignont. Am I saying your name right?
Yes.
Okay, she is passionate about ministry and she has served in various capacities for many years, be it as a youth department administrator, singles ministry leader, choir member. That's interesting too, singles ministry leader, because when you're leading, but you're also dealing with some things yourself, I want to talk about that a little bit. Choir member and interceding for others on the altar. A Bay Area native, Dr. Ignont graduated from Bishop O'Dowd High School and studied at the University of Phoenix, earning her bachelor's degree in business with an emphasis on small business entrepreneurship. And additionally, she has recently bestowed with a honorary doctorate of divinity from the God School of Ministry. She's married, and she is married to Mr. Michael Ignont, who I can know is in the background because I talked to him backstage.
He's here.
And she's a stepmother to 4 adults and step grandma to 6 grandchildren, while also assisting in the care of her 85-year-old mother. All right, everybody, we're going to learn more about her Christian journey and some of the things that she does in the community in Livermore, California, and some other courses that she's taken as well. But we are so glad to have you, Dr. Debra, here on the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited and nervous.
I am too. So when we talk about faith, before we even go into your backstory or anything else, there's the book definition, faith, right? But I wanted to not just get a book definition. I wanted to get your personal definition of what it is to have faith in the midst of storms and trials that you experience.
Faith is always looking up at circumstances. It is so easy to get consumed with life and what's going on day to day, but you have to really trust that God has got you in his hands. And it wasn't until I went through some trials and errors and realized that God always brought me through. And in going through those situations, it increased my faith, even in my singleness. I always, even though I was going through the storms, going through various dating patterns, dating the wrong ones, I always, in the back of my mind, knew that God was not going to just leave me here.
That's a great definition. Just even through the trials and the tribulations, the trial and errors, you knew that God was still going to be there with you. And when you talk about even just going through some of the dating trials and errors, in today's society, I'm looking at it like, okay, dating is a whole thing. Some people date online, some people date in person, some people date multiple people because it's not the right one, and they don't want to lock themselves. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a big deal, right?
It is.
Talk to us about your journey in singlehood, being single as a single woman.
Well, I'm old school. Okay. And my parents, before my father passed, had been married for 51 years. So that's all I knew. And so when I would go into dating, I always went into dating with the end in mind. And when I say end, I mean marriage.
Okay.
So I was always what you say courting. The other person probably wasn't with that same mindset. They're out here just dating in these streets.
In these streets. Okay. Before she even finishes, I want to know, are you one of the people that believe in just dating in those streets out there, or are you a person that believes in courtship and which leads to marriage? Please put your thoughts in the comments.
That's what I believe in, and that's how I dated. And it's the funny thing, because my mom would say, why you only just date one person? And I was like, because I'm not out here trying to date multiple different people. That's too much work.
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you, Debra. Dr.
I'm
Debra.
focused on one person and one person only. What they're doing, I'm hoping that they're focused on me, but a lot of times they weren't.
Okay, so you dated with the intention of marrying the person that you were dating.
Yes.
But I can tell you right now, we have this expert. I should tag him because I know he would chime in. Let me just tag. I'm gonna say Ken Canyon he's our relationship expert, right?
Okay.
And he comes on and talks about things from his perspective that are problems that women have pertaining to being. Oh man, I tagged the wrong person. But anyway, he actually talks about, no, you should not date with just thinking that you're going to just date the one person only, and then he thinks you should keep your options open. So we have our own disagreement about that.
Yes.
I believe too that you should date with the intention of marrying the person, because what in the world, you're going to date 6, 7, 8 people?
Exactly. And then that stigma that comes with women when they're dating multiple people. The men can do it and it's all fine. but let us do it. Oh, we all kind of things.
But
Okay.
see, I say that, but then I really don't know because
Yeah.
I'm real green, real green with this situation. So where I may think that's the right way to do it, really that like it depends upon who you're dating. If they're not
Yes.
the right person, then you're gonna have to
Mhm.
date somebody else again, right?
Exactly.
So you
But I'm
can't be
not
like, oh,
going to
that
that
didn't
point.
work.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So how did it work for you? You dated somebody, it didn't
I
work.
say, and the relationships that I was in, most of them lasted years. They
Is that
lasted, and especially the ones that were really serious for me. They were like 5-year relationships.
right?
And then for them to not end well, it was devastating for me.
That's what I would think.
It
I would
was
think that.
devastating for me. And then you would go through that period of, oh no, did I waste time? What was I doing? Why did it take me so long to see the flags not move on?
So now that's wasted time. So because of your heart and your commitment that I'm true to this person, I'm exclusive to this person. How did it end in a couple of the instances? Because now you said relationships,
Well,
which
one
mean
of
that it was
them,
plural.
the first guy that I dated long term, I found out that he was cheating on me. And this is before I got saved. Okay. So, I'm dating as the world was dating or
Okay.
is dating. And we dated for 5 years. But something in my spirit told me that he was not going to be my husband. But you know how you just keep on holding on.
Right. And
Excuse
feel
me.
free to get some water too. You don't,
Okay.
yeah,
And
you
my
can definitely.
father straight up told him, "You are not gonna marry my daughter." And me being rebellious, a rebellious child against my father,
That
uh,
made you want to even more, right?
I want to prove him wrong. So when I finally found out that he was not the right one and that he was messing around with someone else that he eventually ended up marrying, I found out some years later.
Okay.
I had my suspicions about that individual, and it ended up being true. And
Was
so
it somebody you knew?
I had seen her in passing. I
Okay.
didn't know her like that.
But she wasn't
So
your
yeah,
bestie or nothing crazy.
yeah. And then I ended that one. And then the other guy that I dated, that was like, he was a long distance relationship.
Okay.
And I knew he was going to be my husband. My dad liked him. My family liked him. My friends liked him. Everybody loved him. And one day I went to his city for a conference and I
Okay,
stayed.
you saying, wait a minute, you saying a lot. This was a long distance relationship.
It was a long distance relationship and
So
we flew back
everybody
and
loved
forth.
him. Everybody
Everybody
loved him.
loved him.
And
Everybody
you
loved
you
him.
surprised him and went to his city?
No, he knew we were coming. It
Okay,
was
okay.
myself and two of my other cousins.
Girl, this getting good. Like I'm watching a Lifetime. I'm like, wait, girl.
We go out there and he told us that we could stay with him and everything was fine. And for years we flew back and forth to see each other. So it wasn't like anything new. So go out there, stay with him.
Right there. We're gonna take a commercial break. You know how you watching a movie? Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned because we're gonna hear more about what happened when she flew out there with her and her friends, and they went to go hang out with her boyfriend that everybody loved already. We'll be right back after this commercial break to hear what happened next.
All right.
You can go to commercial, Mackenzie.
I have peace of mind
Mackenzie,
with
like, is
Silver
that a real
Shield Security, which has been protecting my family and home, along with servicing the Carolinas for over a decade. Silver Shield Security knows the importance of convenience and safety. Whether you live in an apartment, a home, or run a business, they are here to protect you from unwanted intrusions and fires. Call now at 704-440-4688 or visit the website at www.silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #ToneX and get 1/2 off your installation price. Don't forget to ask about the new no money down options. Let Silver Shield Security help to give you peace of mind, just like me and my family, and keep your business safe.
All right, so now you get there. What happens, girl? Oh, I got you muted. Because I can hear you laughing during the commercial. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So we get there, and the first thing he tells one of my cousins is, if the phone rings, don't answer it. Excuse me? So, because he was working while we were there for the conference. So he's out to work, phone rings, and my cousin forgot what he said.
No, your cousin did not forget. Let's be very clear. Your cousin said, to heck with that.
She picks up the phone, and it's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, who is this? And cousin's like, I guess she told her who she was or whatever. And that just started the whole thing. And he came home, he was hot, and we get into it. And I was like, this ain't working for me.
No.
It's not working for me. I said, I'm in California. I'm being faithful to you. But I couldn't be too angry at him because he always said, we have to be realistic. I live in another state.
Oh, so he already painted the picture that...
He painted the picture and I ignored the sign. I wanted to ignore the sign because he had all the qualifications that I needed. And we as single women tend to do that. Oh, he has everything that I always wanted. And then you see these red signs over here blinking and you want to ignore them because you're so focused on that. And that's what I fell into. So 5 years later, after dealing with this man and finding out that he's out here living his best life, and I'm
on your time, on my
time, I was like, I don't like this arrangement. It's not working for me. So I ended it. And we flew back home that next day. And
so you were scheduled to stay out there longer, but then when it came to an abrupt halt.
Actually, it was toward the end of the conference. So it was time for us to go anyway. And so, but he was such a good friend.
Okay.
And when I met him, he was in college. And so I kind of helped him through college.
He had nothing. You were there for a brother, right?
I was there. And so that's what really hurt me the most. And he would stay in contact, like on birthdays. How you doing? Happy birthday. And we did that kind of thing for some years until he ended up getting married. And he got married, and I think like a year into his marriage, he found out his wife was dying of cancer.
Oh.
And so, but he always stayed in contact with me. It was like that soul tie he couldn't let go, I guess.
That's interesting because most of the times when people have relationships, they sever them and they go their separate ways.
And that's usually how I operate but with him, it was different. And it was probably because I thought this was going to be my husband. Right. And so she died like 7 years later.
Oh.
And he called me to tell me that she died.
Oh my God.
And at that time, I didn't have anybody. I wasn't dating anybody at that time when he called me.
Girl, you wait. You get ready.
In between there, yes. But
no, that's not what I'm talking about now. I'm praying he had my deepest condolences and sympathy. Now, you saying that when his wife passed, he reached back out to you.
Yes.
Oh, girl,
now he had been reaching out like on birthdays and stuff.
Right,
so it wasn't like I hadn't talked to him. But yeah, he reached out to tell me his wife had passed. And of course, I'm feeling like, oh my God, now I'm saved.
Okay.
I'm saved now. So I'm not that same person that I was when we were dating before. And so, of course, the Christ in me, I'm feeling empathetic toward him. And I was like, oh my God. And I could tell that he had really gone through some things because, I mean, you're dealing with someone with cancer and stuff. That's a whole nother animal. So I could tell he was kind of burdened. And I was like, why don't you just come to California just to get away? And that was just my intention. I wasn't thinking anything else.
On, Deborah.
I'm saying, I didn't doing nothing with you.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all better put some comments in the comment section. Y'all hearing the story just like I am, and I'm not being judgmental one way or the other. Okay.
Yeah. So he came And it was not the same for me. It was
Okay.
not the same. But I always in the back of my mind wondered if we would have ever gotten married. And his whole circumstance had changed. I mean, he had a whole lot of stuff going on in his personal life. And so it was not the same. But God ended up telling me clear as day one time, because he had come, like, I want to say for 3 years after that.
Okay. So he kept coming.
He kept coming, not
but you weren't dating
me for his personal thing that he was going through. So
were you dating him at this point?
No.
So it was just a clear platonic friendship.
Yeah. But
no friends with benefits. No, man. Okay.
I'm saved, and this is how I'm living my life now. But when you're up here, you can stay because it's you're handling.
I think you're just glitching or something.
But God ended up telling me, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes. So, yes. So he came to visit you for a few years.
God ended up telling me. Yeah, that went on for like 2 years. And then God just spoke to me one day and he said, I'm trying to bless you. You need to cut this soul tie. This is a soul tie and you need to cut it. And I heard it clearly.
You all believe in soul ties, everybody in the studio audience? I want to know your thoughts. Do you believe that when something is over, it needs to be clipped because that's a soul tie that you need to get away from so that God can bless you at a different level? Put your comments in the comment section if you do believe in that theory, or if you don't, say no, I believe you just keep on keeping on and keep on showing love until the end of time or whatever. I don't know. Whatever your thought is. I can tell you my thought. My thought, and it's probably a warped one, I guess. I don't need to justify it. I want to show the love of God that I can to every single person that I can in life. And there are people that I know that have wronged me in my lifetime, and I still love them. I still have some level of love for them. Now, I won't be hanging with them. Okay.
Yes.
Don't worry. I'm not going to be going and being your buddy no more because I done been bumped across my head and I understand. But to just be like, I despise or hate or anything. No, I don't actually. So I don't.
And I don't either. If he were to call me today, it'd be fine. I don't have any problems like that. It's just that soul tie where we're connected in some way or another. It's totally different. So he told me to do that, and I did it immediately. Now, normally when God speaks to me, I'm like pondering and do, but I knew I needed to do something.
You had to do that.
Something was in the works and I didn't know what it was at the time. And so I told him when he came up the last time, I said, I gave him a long speech. I let him know how over the years I felt used, blah, 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 blah. Ended it, told him, don't call me anymore. Nothing. And he granted my request. He didn't contact me.
Okay.
And
so he never contacted you again.
He never contacted me again.
Wow.
And he's always been a gentleman that way. Okay. He's never just really went rogue on me and did anything that was not pleasing to me. He granted my wishes. And so he understood where I was coming from. And that was like the start of me getting ready to meet my husband, not knowing that this was going to be my husband.
Wow. Okay.
And so I said, okay, Lord, it's me and you. I'm tired of dating these guys. I want to be married. I'm getting older. I can't have kids right now. Well, I can't. I could have, but I'm not because I'm old. I'm older now. So I'm like, so I know you've heard my cry over the years that I desire to be married. I'm the only child. My brother passed away when I was 29. He was 28. So I'm like, I don't want my parents not to
Have grandchildren.
or not even that, but worry about me being by myself.
Right.
I don't want to be by myself. And so I just really started just buckling down and focusing on God at the time. And at that time, I was in school to get my bachelor's. And I was about to graduate. I was going to school of ministry at my church. I was about to graduate there. So everything was moving along well. And then I want to say 4 months later, boom, here comes my husband.
Okay. All right, y'all. You know this story. We're going to take a even additional interesting turn. Okay. So we're going to get to hear about the Boaz in a few minutes here. But let me go to some of the studio audience comments and hold on about Mr. Ignont. Okay. And did you send me the picture to my Yahoo or to my Gmail?
To your Yahoo.
Okay. All right.
So
don't worry about it. We'll figure it out during the commercial. Send it one more time. But let me go to some of these studio audience comments and see what y'all are saying here. I see you, Vanita. You said good morning, Kim and Dr. Debra. You're chiming in from Florida. Welcome to you, Vanita. Let's see. My mom is on today, and she said good morning, Kim and Dr. Debra.
Good morning.
And in the comment section, again, y'all, make sure you check out how you can stay connected with Hunter Everidge Law Firm as well. And their information is right there in your comment section. Go ahead, Mackenzie. You can scroll the Jesus loves you where you are, but won't leave you where you are.
Hey, Steph.
Stephanie said that. And she said that was when you were talking about being single. Yeah. Next comment. Let's see. Any more comments? Oh, Mackenzie backstage is helping me today. She said 2.5 years ago, I could date just to date and everything. I met my husband now and knew I was ready to commit and be in a serious relationship. Fast forward 1.5 years later, I'm married, live with my husband, and have a baby on the way.
All right. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mackenzie and Trenton. Yes. All right, let's see. Another comment. I see. I had one of those, ended up getting pregnant, and he was gone.
Oh no.
She had a previous relationship. She got pregnant and has a beautiful son. And she said, in her own words, gone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Next comment, some more comments that came in. I believe in dating only one person. Okay.
Yeah, Anita.
That's my personal belief too. All right. And then I see you cracking up in the studio audience. Oh, somebody said some cougar vibes going on if you're getting it in the playing field. Okay. Sheree said, now this is interesting. This right here. This is an interesting topic. Not the red glasses. Yes, I had to put the red glasses on and turn them sideways for some of what she was saying.
Because this is fire.
This is fire. All right, y'all, keep your comments coming. I see a lot of them. Stephanie said he was Ishmael.
Shut up, Steph.
Stephanie went all the way there. She's like, oh, you know what?
He was.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see that, Mackenzie. Keep going. Yes. Katrina said yes. And Benita said, yes, I do. And Sheree said, yes, ma'am. Soul ties, Stephanie said, are real, especially where intimacy has taken place. So cutting those soul ties of intimacy has taken place is important. Yeah, because some people, God has a funny sense of humor. Kevin Sharp said, oh, Kevin, just speaking of which, I want to let you know, too, on Freestyle Friday, we do have an all-male panel coming up on this week's Freestyle Friday. He actually requested that we have an all-male Freestyle Friday expert panel. So that's happening on Friday, just so you know. Oh, Tanya Butler says, just tuning in. Can't wait to hear the rest of your testimony. 26 years in my God-ordained marriage is what she said. We met in college at the end of an era of realizing that we wanted only what God wanted. And boom, we met each other.
Absolutely. Yes.
And she has a beautiful family. Beautiful family. All right, next comment. Any more comments? Y'all keep your comments coming. Great. Okay, you'll see that on Friday, Kevin, too. All right, so everybody, we're talking with Dr. Debra Moore Ignont. When we come back, let's make sure that we get to hear about this marriage made in heaven. So I am excited about it, and I'm trying to see, I still don't see that photo. So I got to figure out where it is. But anyway, when we come back, we can at least talk about Mr. Ignont, her husband, and we're going to learn more about him right after this commercial break. We'll be right back, everybody.
All right.
All right, everyone. We are back and we're talking with Dr. Debra Moore Ignont. What to do when your faith is unsure. And when she went through her single years, she had some instability with that faith situation. But then God blessed her with her husband. And so I want to put this image up for a moment, because if you too are struggling with what to do, what do you do when your faith is unsure? And it's her journey of singleness to intimacy. How do people get a copy of your book, Dr. Debra?
They can go to my website at DebraMooreIgnont.com.
DebraMooreIgnont.com. And for those that are podcast listeners, it's DebraMooreIgnont.com. DebraMooreIgnont.com. All right. And you can get a copy of her book, What Do You Do When Your Faith is Unsure? All right. So tell us about how God turned things around for you.
Okay. Well, this is a story in itself, just how we even got to the altar.
Yes.
But, so like I mentioned before, I cut the soul tie, and I was focused on the Lord. I was focused on graduating from school. And then one day I'm on Facebook and my husband and I used to go to junior high school together.
Get out of here.
Yes, we went to junior high school together. So that's where I first met him.
Okay.
And back
never
then,
dated or anything.
No. He was dating one skirt and I was looking at somebody else. So.
Okay.
But I remember him as always being a nice guy.
Okay. You know, I know your husband in the background now. He like, don't get choked up now when you talked about all them other dudes. I know he in the background because I talked to him backstage.
Well, he's gone now. So
okay.
Yeah. So I already knew who he was. Okay. And after high school, when I went to one high school, he went to another high school. So that's kind of where I lost contact with him.
Okay.
So after junior high, didn't see him anymore. I might have seen him 2 more times after that in passing. He used to work for UPS. So one day I saw him driving his truck and I was like, hey, so we never really had a conversation or anything. Didn't know anything about his life after junior high school.
But were you interested in him when you saw him on you just went on about your business?
Just went on about my business and stuff.
Okay.
Just, hey, and never thought about him twice. And so when I saw him on Facebook on a mutual friends page, because we knew some of the same people, I was like, oh, there goes Michael. I haven't seen him in years. Let me just reach out and say hi.
Okay.
So I inboxed him. I'm like, hey, stranger, how you doing? Okay. And he immediately responded and said, hey, Debra. He said, you know what? I always thought you were cute, but I never told you. It's like, what?
Now, at this point, you single. How old are you?
Single. 52.
Wait, first of all,
wait a minute.
I'm around that age now. So what in the world?
I'm about to be 60.
Get out of here. So I would never have known that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be 60 on May 4th. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I met him at 51. I was 51. Get out of here. Yes. And okay. I had never been married before, never had any children. So when he said that, it kind of caught me off guard. I said, because he never showed any interest in me like that. And so we just started communicating then. And I was liking what I was hearing. I was like, okay, he sounds like me in a man. Okay. And so through, and so he's telling me his history and telling me that he had been married before, 2 times before, and he was telling me about his kids, like telling me they had been divorced for years, then Texas, but came.
It's
And
glitching,
so he's telling
actually.
me all of this, and
go ahead. I can hear you
really,
now. It's
is it still
going in and
doing it
out,
now?
but we can. No, not now. We can figure out what you're saying. Go ahead. I just can't
Okay.
control the other person's internet, but that's fine. Go right on, girl. I'm enjoying this story. Go.
Oh. Yeah, so we just did a lot of communicating, and then one day we decided to get together and meet for coffee. And so we did that.
Okay.
And I drove, because he was there first, and I drove up, and he's standing in the doorway with this white sweatsuit on, looking so fine.
Oh, Lord,
and he's a tall
Lord, here we go.
He's a
You
tall
like,
drinking
what?
water.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, Jesus. And I'm trying to be, now I'm saved now, and I'm trying to be good. And I see this man standing in the door, and I'm like, oh, God. And then I heard the Lord say, he's going to be trouble.
You done met your match now, huh?
And I'm like, and my hormones is raging, and I'm like, knees shaking. And then he was a gentleman. He came and got me out the car, and he opened the doors. And so, these men today, these kids today, they don't know how to be chivalrous, okay? He walk on the outside of the street. I'm noticing all these little things that I hadn't been getting with these other
guys.
Ishmaels, as Stephanie called them. And so we talking, and it's just flowing. Next thing you know, the place says, okay, we closing in 10 minutes. What? We just got here.
No, I need more. I
need more and stuff. And so I lived right around the corner, and I was like, well, why don't you come to the house? Because if he was just some Joe Blow I just met, that never would have happened. But because I already knew him, I said, why don't you just come to the house and we can finish talking and stuff.
Okay.
Go to my house. The dog, my little dog, goes ballistic. He's
in a good way or bad way.
He's like, who is this? And he's on him like white on rice. And I had never seen my dog act the way he was acting toward him. And I would try to get my dog away from him. My dog would just be like, He was just like, no, I want him and stuff. And so, needless to say, that went on. And next thing you know, we start dating. And it was fine. I was like, wow, I could see myself really marrying this guy because my dad would love him. By this time, my father had already passed.
Okay.
So I was like, I could see my father really liking him. Because
Anita says, shoot, I should have made me some popcorn.
You got to get the book to get all the nitty gritty details about what's been going on with Debra.
Anita's like, man, if I had time, I would have popped me a 3-minute bag of popcorn for this episode.
I'm like,
wow.
Okay, Sam, be quiet. Mommy's on camera.
Oh, that's funny. Sam, like, no, that's why I'm making noise. You over here talking about me. I'm
okay. And so, yeah, we were fine. Everything was going fine. And I want to say maybe 6 months in, that's when the first red flag popped up for me.
In a good way or bad way?
Bad. It was his past was coming to his current.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it at that. His past was coming to the current, and it kind of stumped him. And I was like, well, what are we doing here? You need to figure this out. You got kids involved. I'm like, I'm not trying to, what's really going on?
Right.
Needless to say, we break up. Stephanie, who was on here earlier, Stephanie was kind of instrumental in us getting back together because it was toward like the new year was coming up. and we had already bought tickets to go to a concert. Her husband, and me and Michael. And she was like, "Well, we done spent money on these tickets. You gotta get
gonna be together for this one day."
Me say we go to concert and got back together, and everything's moving along. And I'm not going to say it was smooth; it was rocky, because my husband still had to work out some of his past issues.
But the point is, he is your husband at this point.
He's my husband at this point.
Okay, so you all do. Let me pull. I did find one picture. I don't, for whatever reason, can't get that other. But here is a picture that I did find. Tell me if this is correct. Is that you and your husband?
I don't see a picture.
Oh, you don't see that picture? It's a picture of you in a wedding dress.
That's us.
Okay, I'm like, oh Lord, that's not you.
That's him.
Yes, and so you all look absolutely lovely together, and that's the picture I was able to find on social media for you guys. Beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful.
okay.
And so y'all have you've been married now.
We had a rocky 3 years of dating because we broke up. We got engaged, broke up. Planned the wedding date, broke up again. I mean, you got to get the book to get all the details.
Don't worry, y'all. The book is right here, y'all. The book, What Do You Do When Your Faith is Unsure? My Journey of Singleness to Intimacy. Yeah. So ultimately, singleness ended and she became married, but it was even a rocky road going into the marriage itself.
Going into the marriage itself. And now we're going on 6 years in July.
Okay. So it smoothed out some, clearly.
Everything smoothed out.
I'm like, please let's not get off this show. Whether is it still rocking? What's happening? Because
everything smoothed out. So when it came to the intimacy part, it was like when you're single, you're thinking about intimacy, sleeping with somebody, going to bed with somebody, and that's it. But I quickly learned after I said I do that intimacy involves a whole lot more than that.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, it's a whole lot of sacrifice. It's a whole lot of giving of yourself in a marriage. And people think that, it's going to be a pie in the sky once you get married. Oh, it's just going to be rainbows and butterflies. But God, if you don't have God at the center, I mean, it's going to be a really hard journey. But I just thank God that he kept me through everything and every circumstance that I went through in my singleness. It was a learning lesson and it was a preparation period for when I got married. Wow. And so now we're married, and now we're just loving on each other and taking care of my mom, and things have just turned around so dramatically. And God is just awesome. He is awesome.
Right. So now when we come back after this next break, and Mackenzie, I'll play the next commercial, but when we come back after this break, I want to hear from you what advice you give those that are still single and they're dealing with different struggles, which you can relate to because you've been single for quite a long time, up into your 50s. That's the majority of your life.
Yes.
So what advice and tips would you give to them to be satisfied in their singleness?
Yes.
In our singleness, actually. So
exactly.
I put myself in that. All right. So let me play right now a quick commercial from my son, Ivan. Ivan Jacobs actually is one of our episode sponsors today. And he's lost over 100 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And he did it through diet and exercise and no surgery or anything. Not that anything's wrong with surgery. So we're not condemning anything to do with surgery if that's the route that you have to take. But I'm just telling you his story. Awesome. And he battles and kicks cystic fibrosis in the head. And so that's a lung disease. So this is a big deal. He's taking 5 new clients that he can take on with his new personal training certification. So we'll hear from Ivan with majorpt.com now. And I'll pull it in. Okay.
Lower that scale number, and you just need help to make that transformation. My name is Ivan Jacobs from Major PT, and allow me to be of service to you as your private personal trainer. In my personal case, I've lost over 100 pounds and I've kept it off. I have made a total transformation, And now we help other people make transformations just like that. What we offer is mobile personal training, where we drive out to your location or we meet up at a location to exercise together, as well as nutrition coaching and habit coaching. We guarantee results or your money back. We understand how important it is and how difficult it can be trying to navigate nutrition and fitness alone, so work with us to make your transformation possible. Our slogan is train you once and train you forever. We don't hope to keep you as clients forever. We hope to inform you so that you know what to do in your own day-to-day life. The workout program is custom tailored to you based off of gym frequency, assessments, and personal preference. We focus on progressively overloading in a safe and proper manner. We can meet up at the gym or your own home. I understand the importance of convenience and will work with what you want. Through the use of applications, you will have access to see the entire program from your phone. You can contact me, track your weight, and add personal goals all within the app. We will help you develop and maintain healthy habits that support your fitness goals for the long term. Together, we can identify areas for positive change and develop strategies to help you stay on track. Nutrition is a crucial component of achieving any fitness goal. As a personal trainer, I understand its importance and how it can make or break your progress. That's why I offer personalized meal recommendations as part of my all-in-one monthly program. With the help of apps, you can access your meal plan and track your nutrition right from your phone, making it easy to stay on track and make progress towards your fitness goals. Let me take care of the nutrition aspect so you can focus on your workouts and achieving your goals. If you would like, I can even accompany you to the grocery store to help you shop for healthier choices or set up an Instacart delivery right to your front door. Click the link below so we can schedule a free consultation to discuss further. We're excited to work with you, and see you later.
So check out majorpt.com. I mute myself because they can hear us. But check out majorpt.com to learn more. And for Confidence Tones, the previous episode sponsor, I want to make sure that you know to reach out to Dr. Joe D. Bear to learn more. She's one of our actual episode sponsors and Freestyle Friday experts. But the Confidence Tones that she talks about, you can reach her at 800-820-0584 or visit drjod.com to learn more about the confidence tones and the different sounds that you can get calmness with. Okay. All right. So tell us some things that you would share as tips for those that struggle with being single.
Well, there are several things. One, keep busy. Keep busy because the enemy is busy. And anytime that he can get you alone and have you on that pity party, sitting in the house, eating, depressed, looking at everybody else's situations, he's got you. So you need to find something, an outlet, something that's going to keep you occupied, something that will fulfill you to help you pass that time until God blesses you with your mate.
That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's key. And I think that's one of the things that helped me get through. And helped me not just succumb to my circumstances and just waddle in pity all the time. I always had something that I had going on, be it active in ministry or hanging out with my friends. And I know sometimes it gets tiring hanging out with the same sex all the time because I'll be like, I'm tired of looking at y'all. I need some male stimulation.
You needed Michael.
So staying busy. Also keeping yourself in the word.
Keeping yourself in the word. Y'all make sure y'all type these in the comment section. Keep busy and keep yourself in the word. If you're
in
single,
the word, listen to gospel music, listen and watch, and be careful what you watch on TV and what you put in your ear and eye gates and stuff, because that'll affect you. You over here listening to Luther Vandross all the time, being be careful of what you listen to. Also, if you are dating someone as a single person, date in group.
Date in groups, is that what you said? Did you say date in group settings? Is that what you just said? Okay.
Group date. Yes.
Oh,
Don't date
date.
alone.
So,
yeah. Don't just date with you and your partner and stuff. And keep it out of your houses. Don't go to each other's homes and stuff. Date in public. You got to date with groups and date in public. Because, I mean, we're human. God made us this way. And so, of course, our flesh is going to be wanting to do a lot more things that it shouldn't be doing before we get married. And I don't know if you've heard of that adage that kissing ends up in babies or something. How's it go? You get pregnant. And that's true. Because once you start petting and kissing and doing all these things and stuff, your hormones is going to be wanting to do the next thing.
That's good.
So you got to be careful. Now, if you want to hold hands and stuff in public, that's fine and everything. But all this petting and kissing and doing all this stuff, you got to be careful of that.
Okay, you said intimacy is not just sex. Tell me about that.
It's not. It's a surrender of yourself. I mean, there are a lot of things that you have to give up. You can't just be so self-motivated anymore with intimacy. Right. Just as Christ wants us to develop a relationship with him by getting in his word, knowing his character, his personality. That's what a relationship is like. Okay. You got to get to know your partner. And I'm going to give this little brief testimony. Just in these past 3 months, I've really had to give of myself because my husband hurt his heel. He shattered his heel. Ugh. And so now he was off for 3 months. And man, I've had to do everything. But you do it because you love your partner. Wow. And so I had to surrender and give myself to him all the time. And I work from home. So he's home with me. And I'm like going stir crazy because I'm not getting any space anymore. But I always had to bring myself back and say, it's not about me, Deborah. Your husband's here. He can't get around. And you have to step up and do that. And so that's what intimacy is. I want to get to know my husband. I want to get to know his quirks. I want to get to know what makes him happy, what doesn't make him happy. Right. And when you're with somebody long enough, you know what triggers them.
That's right.
You want to be careful not to trigger them. So yeah, intimacy is more than just laying in the bed having sex. And the older you get, that ain't important no more.
That's good advice. I think this is such great advice that you're giving. And how do single people deal with the loneliness from your perspective? Because it's one thing when you're married, like you're married now. So people be like, oh yeah, girl, you married, so save it. How do you, but you've been married, single for 52 years, 51 years.
Yeah, I was lonely. I always suffered with loneliness and stuff. But I always always get books, self-help books that would help me get through some of the loneliness, lonely times that I went through and stuff. And talk to somebody. You're not on an island by yourself and stuff. That's and good. when you read my book, you will see there were a lot of times that I didn't share what I was going through. And that just made the situation worse. You want to be able to talk to some godly counsel. Somebody that you can trust that can help feed back into you in those lonely times.
That's good.
Talk to somebody that has overcome loneliness, not somebody that's lonely just like you.
So get advice from people that's overcome what you're trying to deal with versus having to be going through exactly what you're dealing with at the same time is what Dr. Deborah is saying. So good advice, wise counsel from this woman. Yes, I love I love the tips that you are sharing here. Anybody you have questions in the studio audience or comments or anything, make sure you type them. But you want to be able to talk to someone and get some godly counsel. And I see that as a comment backstage here too. Thank you so much for putting that up, Mackenzie. We'll pop some of these up. You want to be able to talk to some godly counsel, get some godly counsel. to
Mhm.
someone. Let me make sure we retype that. Someone to get godly counsel. I love that.
And volunteer your time in different places,
I love
different
that.
organizations and stuff where you're able to give back. Because
Mhm.
once you start helping other people that are struggling a whole lot more than you start feeling fulfilled because you are helping those individuals.
You're saying things that really truly can make a difference for not just single people, even
Yes.
married people. These are just
Mhm.
great tips. So volunteer your time to help others, and that'll help take some of the it, the focus off of what you're maybe dealing with, is what I would think.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I love
Because
that.
just be encouraged that God has not forgotten you.
That's good.
He has not forgotten you, and he will meet your needs in due season. You just have to have faith that he's going to do that.
Wow. Listen, y'all, we've been talking with Dr. Debra Moore Ignont, and her tips are incredible for those that are dealing with singleness. And in the book, What Do You Do When Your Faith is Unsure? You're going to hear Dr. Deborah's journey of singleness to intimacy. And intimacy is way more than sex. And so the way that you can get her book and stay connected with her is where? Let people know again.
At DebraMooreIgnont.com.
DebraMooreIgnont.com.
And you
And
can
what we're
order
going to,
the book there and I'll sign it and all that. Mhm.
you will get your signed copy of the book. What do you do when your faith is unsure? Okay.
Mhm.
You'll get a copy of that book there. And I also want to give you an opportunity, because many times people, and thank you so much, Terry Brinston. I saw that you sent a donation to the Kim Jacobs Show, and lots of others. I've been naming them all throughout last week that have been pouring into the Kim Jacobs Show. But I wanted to let you know that as we continue to produce and broadcast our daily show, we rely heavily on the support and generosity of you all in the community to keep allowing us to bring this valuable content. And this is the only way, through your partnership, that we get the opportunity to bring balance to the world, one household at a time. So if you enjoy watching the Kim Jacobs Show and would like to contribute to our efforts, which are greatly appreciated, each and every one of you that do that, then please make sure that you contribute to being able to help fund the production and the distribution of these episodes that you all see on a weekly basis. Every single day, weekday, we're on at 11 o'clock a.m. So the ways that you can give is Cash App, Kim Jacobs Inc. You can give through paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show, or you can become a Patreon member, patreon.com/the Kim Jacobs Show. And thank you so much for your ongoing support of the Kim Jacobs Show. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you, Terry, for your donation that I just saw as well. All right, I'll give shout outs all the time. So please feel free to do that. And I'll make sure I put that up so you'll be able to screenshot it if you like as well. All right, tell us a closing comment, Dr. Debra.
Well, I just want to close with this and encourage you that God is there. God hears your plea, he hears your cry, and he has not forgotten you. Stay the course because you will be blessed in due season if you faint not.
And I do know that I see you not just your cutesy girly girl over there all the time. You wearing some hard hats and some steel toe shoes.
Yes, I
What is
do.
that
Yes,
about?
I do. Well, I'm in the construction industry. I have my own consulting business called dmoreconsulting.com. And I do labor and contract compliance management with public projects. So right now I'm doing some work with the Port of Oakland, Alameda County. So yeah, it's a very rewarding job. Profession. And not enough women. So we're looking for more women to get into construction. But yeah, so that's what I do.
That is so wonderful. So you're a woman of many hats as you're balancing motherhood, because you have your 4 adult children that you are the stepmom of, you have your
Mhm.
6 grandchildren, and you're a wife,
Yeah.
and you are a construction owner consultant,
Yeah.
and you are an author. So
Yeah.
lots of hats that you wear. Kudos to you and everything that you're doing to bring balance to this world.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And thank you all in the virtual studio audience. I see you, Vanita. Bye-bye. And I thank you for tuning in to today's episode. We'll see you tomorrow as we learn how to kind of blossom into your brilliance. We're going to have Ruth Kent here on the Kim Jacobs Show, and she's going to be talking to us about how to just really tap into being able to be all that God created us to be. We'll see you at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you, Dr. Debra.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.